In our last episode, I shared a story from my youth about using role-playing games as a way of practicing story construction. It got me thinking, why don't I try that again? The level of effort was low and the level of fun was pretty high. So I approached a friend of mine who game masters, and I am now in a game system called Everyday Heroes. The small group of players, myself included, are about to embark on an open-world storyline at the start of a zombie apocalypse. I used to consider this kind of activity detrimental to my fiction writing. What possible good could come from role-playing, I would think, other than time lost to not writing? But that conversation with Tim triggered some fond memories, and when I went back to review old notes, reminded me of how much character work takes place in these fictional settings. I think it will be good practice for me, and I'm looking forward to sharing the journey with you. Role-playing sessions create some interesting stories, and the really good ones stay with you. 30 years ago, I was playing an elven illusionist in a massive campaign of a game called Earth Dawn, a fantasy setting with tons of magic. I had created a naive young elf, he was 70, which I was told is early in their lifespans. And this wide-eyed innocent had falsely believed that the entire world was an illusion. Because he was able to create apparitions and dupe people into seeing things that weren't really there, he assumed that he too was somehow missing things, somehow being tricked by a master illusionist, which was his manifestation of God. The character was constantly preparing himself to disbelieve what he witnessed, so he could be shown worthy to meet God. I crafted a backstory where my character honestly thought that true enlightenment was to see through the ultimate illusion and glimpse the true form of the creator. At a pivotal moment in our quest, our party was cornered in a cave and surrounded by fire. Real fire, the kind that burns. Staying in character, I expressed that I did not believe it was real fire, and that if I held my convictions true in my heart, I could walk through the fire unscathed because, as I said, it was not really there at all. My friends were bemused and perplexed. The game master asked what I wanted to do, and I said I would stick my hand into the fire to prove to my friends it was safe to walk through, and by extension, that I alone understood the universe. It was a big moment, and my hand cooked inside a wall of flame. Of course, as friends around a table playing a game, we all knew what my character believed was nonsense. The game master even gave me an out if I wanted to not injure the character on purpose. But I was adamant. This is what he would do, even though I knew it would be bad for the elven illusionist. So the character cooked his hand on purpose. We survived that episode, and that could have been the end of it, a funny anecdote within an epic storyline. But I saw that choice as the character's crisis of faith. The elven illusionist's worldview pivoted from wonder to utter despair. He questioned everything he had believed prior. He doubted himself, assuming his own weakness of faith or spirit was the cause of his injury. Ultimately, as the rest of the party leveled up and became experts in their disciplines, my character decided he no longer wanted to be an illusionist. He changed character classes at great personal expense and essentially started a new journey as a first circle bard. In this silly game, I was able to model compelling risk and personal growth that outstripped the plot of the story. Whatever the quest had been was irrelevant and secondary to my character's self-actualization. It was deeply satisfying to create that subplot. Writing fiction is, in a way, playing a solo role-playing game where you are all the characters, the setting, and the complications. That can be daunting. Role-playing in a group allows you to relax and focus on depth of thought around one character, building out a narrative where your person is the hero of their own story. Perhaps it is a bridge too far to run off and join a role-playing group of your own. Fan fiction is the next best thing, taking existing characters and intellectual property that you love and inserting your own new character into that universe. I used to think fan fiction was a waste of time, too, but as a sandbox for play and practice, I think it has tremendous value. So if you find yourself lacking the creative energy to work on your magnum opus, maybe go slumming on the playground with role-playing games or fan fiction to jumpstart your creative battery. If I make any lasting memories with my new character, I'll happily share those stories with you here. See you next week. Start writing.